Geek Dad Life presents Toy Geeks, a live toy talk show. Today on this special lunch break edition, we are going to talk about Wave 6 of Super7's TMNT Ultimates being revealed. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this special lunch break edition of Toy Geeks. My name is Jay. And with me on this lunch break journey of toy geekery is my good friend John. John, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you, Jay?
I'm doing all right. It's like we were just here. Wait, we literally were last night on the show. But Super7 dropping their, Wave 6. We're both big fans of this toy line. I was talking to you about other things this morning, which we'll talk about at the end of this show. But I was like, are you free at lunch, or at least during my lunch break? Do you want to talk about these figures that I think still have not officially been revealed? So disclaimer here that, potentially some of this stuff could change, I guess, or I don't know. I assume it's going to be announced officially today. We don't know the exact prices. We don't know the exact breakdowns of the boxes, I guess, because there's the numbers have shifted a little bit because of what seems to be an accessory pack. But nonetheless, really excited to be talking about this wave today. Some great stuff in it. A lot of people in the chat already. Da88, Christopher, Automaton, Great Gambino, Jason Clark, Riley Bob, J Mac, Michael Palmer, Figure Trap, Phineas, Brandon 3G, and more. As Riley Bob says, the boys are back breaking the news. Michael Palmer says it's a clean sweep for him. I think this is a really, really solid wave. At least when we talked this morning, I didn't see Slash in it. I only saw the Sewer Surfing Mikey, the Slash, the Ace Duck, and the Mausers pack. So adding the Slash, I think, does make this wave a home run. But John, what's your first thoughts here on this?
Yes. Do you mean Scratch?
Sorry, Scratch. Sorry.
Yes.
Did I say Slash again?
Slash. Well, Slash is in it. So I didn't know if you saw Scratch and hadn't seen Slash, or vice versa.
I meant I hadn't seen Scratch. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes. I hadn't seen Slash. Yes.
This is a real strong wave. I'm going to say this could be the best wave since Wave 1.
You put Wave 1 over Wave 2? I think Wave 2's been the best so far. Just because I love Mutagen Man so much. Mutagen Man and Bebop. I feel like you had two heavy hitters.
Yeah.
In a lot of great ways, but this is, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. I think we all knew or had a good idea that we'd get another undercover disguised turtle.
Yes.
Mikey. Perfect. It looks so good, man. So good.
Like, it just, I think out of all of the disguised turtles, I know the Leo's your favorite, right? This one's my favorite. I just have always loved this figure. Growing up as a kid, in the early 90s, like, and being a San Diego kid, like, this was like the San Diego figure, we all had these neon surf gear or whatever at the beach or whatever. It's so many nostalgia levels for me.
This one spoke to you.
Oh yeah, it did. Plus the little dune buggy car. Like, this Mikey had his own car essentially. Just freaking love this figure. But yeah, and they knocked it out of the park. Like, look at this thing. It looks so cool. Even the surfboard has a little ankle bracelet on it.
It's perfect. It really is. And they do such a good job with the alternate head.
Mm-hmm.
I think all my figures have the alternate head.
Yep.
Not the one that was packaged, on it.
Mm-hmm.
The vintage counterpart.
Yeah.
So, oh man, this looks so good.
They have. You're right. They have been knocking out of the park with the alternate, because I think for me the Samurai Leo, the alternate head is absolutely the one that's going to be going on it with the mask and everything.
Yep.
And the same here. I think. It looks really cool. I love the addition of the sunglasses. I don't think the vintage ones had sunglasses, did it? I'm trying to remember now. Or it was on top of his head, maybe. Crap! I can't
remember. I do want to say one thing really cool.
Yeah.
Is the the unpainted weapons rack
Mm-hmm.
rather than how the turtles just came with that brown rack,
Yeah.
kind of plain. I think did Bebop, and I haven't looked at Rocksteady. I haven't opened them yet. They came with a gray rack
Mm-hmm.
still?
They
So
do.
they're utilizing this one, so it
Mm-hmm.
looks like it's a fishing lure,
Yeah.
like or a rod almost. And then the other ones, Scratch has a ball and chain that all his weapons are attached to.
Yep.
So even, I mean, he comes with a ball and chain, but it's so cool how they're like integrating extra parts. Like the
Yeah.
parts tree is another part.
Yeah, no, it's really cool because and they've kind of been to your point, like getting more and more, creative with it. Because I think in wave 5, were doing that as well, and it's so much fun because honestly, the first wave and maybe a bit of the second wave too, and I have wave 3 here. I haven't opened them up yet, so I can't remember how extensive the trees are, but I love how they're doing it because it kind of became a superfluous accessory that I didn't really care about, to be honest. Like maybe some people would want the classic toy style accessories, but for me, it's like, eh. But the way they're doing it this way is so much more fun, to your point, than just a standard brown accessory tree
Right.
or weapons rack or whatever they're gonna call it. But yeah, Sewer Surfer Mikey looks freaking awesome. Home run. What do you want to go to next? Slash or Scratch?
Let's go to Slash.
Slash. Okay. Whew. Oh, like, okay, Slash again is one of those like top level characters, right? He kind of has that Boba Fettism around him, where he's just kind of a cool character that a lot of people love, regardless of probably how he was represented in the cartoon show, which didn't look anything like this figure, by the way. But thoughts here on Slash?
Another amazing sculpt. There was one of the pictures that the leaker showed where they're, not like this. They were like in their environment, they did like a background shot, and you can see the space that they sculpted behind the teeth. Like there's so much depth in this figure where it's not like just painted teeth over, just emptiness, where it's like there's actually a little bit of space behind there. It add like that little bit, it just adds so much.
100% agree. Yeah, it has depth to it. The alternate head I think looks great as well. Like both heads look fantastic. And real quick, people are correcting me. The sunglasses were molded on his head sculpt. Okay, cool. I was visualizing it. I probably should have grabbed it out here to look at it before, but so that's awesome. That's part of the Sewer Surfer Mikey. And there's just the sculpt on the, again, you knew the 4 horsemen were going to do their thing on all of them, but like especially characters like Slash, and there's so much like gritty detail or whatever, they're gonna go all out, and just even just the text of his skin and everything looks fantastic.
Yeah, it really does. I want to see a turnaround. I want to see how like deep or thick his shell is, because remember like the vintage one, he had like a deeper shell than the others. It was almost more tortoise like than turtle. I wonder if they continued that out like that. Because I mean, I just love this figure.
What do you think, Riley Bob? His statement here: Slash looks great. He's for sure gonna buy it. If I'm being honest, though, I'm a little let down by the secondary head. Was hoping for something more different because all the others have been a home run. Thoughts here on the alternate head? So this is the, I guess, vintage style one, right? Because I'm looking at it now across the way. His mouth is open. Thoughts on the extra head? Too same or?
It is kind of similar. They, maybe the tongue sticking out, or
a ton.
Yeah, that would have been cool. I mean, I like it. It could have been taken a little bit further.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like it in the sense it's making it more of the classic Turtles head, with the kind of
with the middle is pinched down and the sides are outward, but also his eyes are the same in both head poses. They should have swapped it. Small yellow eye, big white eye.
Ooh, yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think. So I think it's a fair criticism that the extra head sculpt here could have been a little bit more different. But to be honest, if I was putting this one, this is the head sculpt I'd go with. And I think maybe that is an indicator of the quality of the secondary one, because I think a lot of us really like the non-vintage style head sculpt so far. And this is a case where I'm probably going to stick to the vintage style on this one.
Yep. Yeah, definitely.
Again, to your point, accessory tree is unique to Slash in that hot pink, looks awesome. Plus the painted weapons, tons of extra hands. A lot of people are over the moon for Slash, and rightfully so. He looks awesome. I logged out before the end of TJ last night, so I'm glad pretending change on have been talking toys all night and through the morning. A little bit, it seems like it. A little bit.
And we haven't lost enthusiasm at all.
I've done 24-hour podcasts before, like live streams before, and it's tough. It's really tough. All right. Who do you want to do next, John?
Let's check out the Mausers.
Mausers. So this is the one I have a lot of questions on. I've been kind of refreshing the Super7 page to see like when the official stuff will drop.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like we get 3 regular Mausers. It looks the same kind of scope that we've gotten on both Baxter Stockmans. We've kind of got a straight colorway on the Wave 1 release, and then we had the San Diego Comic-Con release that was like the glow-in-the-dark plastic version. But so it looks like we got 3 of those, and then we kind of have a battle damage set of Mausers as well. 2 Mausers there. We've also got 2 turtles. They look to be very similar to the ones that came with Splinter, I believe. An extra set of size for Raphael, which is probably kind of replacing the ones that the Wave 1 like release one came with. He's the only one where I guess I'm trying to remember now. It's something unique about his where he had the solid plastic ones, but they're more pearlescent metal than painted metal, and the painted metal ones were kind of floppy. So for me, on my first release, Raph, I've been using the pearlescent ones, but maybe they fixed them here, and that's why these are included. You also got a walkie-talkie, extra piece of pizza. I am guessing this is Baby Splinter as a rat here. And then we have a cracked can of mutagen ooze. Thoughts here on the accessory pack?
I don't know how to feel about this yet until I know the price. If this is the regular Ultimates price point, it's kind of a womp womp for me. It'll be a pass.
Well, Tom says they're up on Super7 site and Mauser pack is full price. Let's switch to Safari. I've had it up here in the background just in case. Let's switch to the web browser. Let me hit refresh. Let's see. Oh, there they are. Okay, we've got it live. So they must have dropped like at 12 as well. Yes, so clicking on the pack right here, it is $55. You get 2 turtles, rat with headband, Mauser master remote control, mutagen canister, pizza slice, and 2 of Raphael's size. So you think this is an official?
Yep. Because we already have tooling made for these, it shouldn't be $55. I would say this should be a $30 pack.
Yeah. I agree. And the concern I have is, we've James, friend of the show, he orders these wholesale, which again, it's not that much cheaper, but it shaves a little bit off the price. So John and I have been splitting part of that kind of full shipper box of them. And having to buy this at full retail if you're trying to buy the whole set, I don't know. I feel like it can't be a peg warmer, so to speak, but I feel like it will. And if I was just a collector buying these on a whim, I'd wait a while because I feel like the price of these is going to drop because I don't think it meets that $55 value.
Right. I think this will be one of those things where, like you said, people will order the full waves, just to save on shipping, and then they'll hold on to this. These will be all over the place. I think people open them up, part them out.
Yeah.
That's a tough pill to swallow. $55 for this,
especially because it's the same tooling. They didn't do anything maybe extra to make it a little bit more deluxe. So and I'm not saying they're trying to be cheap here or whatever. Maybe it does cost that much to make it. I don't know, but same tooling. a lot of re-release stuff here. Sure, you have some variants, and we all want Mauser is an army builder, so that's great that you're putting a whole bunch out there. But it's just not the same caliber of these other figures that are $55 that are, I think, well worth the $55. Like really high end, tons of paint apps, amazing sculpting. This doesn't feel at that level.
No, I will say if they change them, if they added articulated ankles,
yes,
it'll justify it.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's just the same articulation where it's at the hips, if that's what you want to call those, and the neck and the mouth.
Yep. You're 100% right. Like, again, it's as an accessory to Baxter Stockman, it was great because it looked like a Mauser, had everything you'd want out of it. But it was, the articulation was limited. Just it's a cut at the neck and then the cut at the legs. It's not even really a ball joint on the head. So, like, if they would have maybe added some more ball joints, get into some more dynamic posing, then maybe I think you could justify that $55. But yeah, if it's the same cuts and everything, that's a bit of a miss. Riley Bob says shouldn't be $55, especially with random fans of the internet 3D printing Mausers on Instagram/eBay. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're hoping enough people will buy this as part of the set. But I do think that's the one miss of this. Even though I think it's a cool pack, I think it's a great idea. But to your point, John, the execution at $55, a bit much.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, who do you want to do next? And so it's $275 for this set, and normally, what is it then? $215 thereabouts? No, $220 maybe.
It's $275 for the set.
For this set of 4, $275 for all. If you're buying it.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
There's okay. Let's keep moving along here, John. Ace Duck, or let's finish with Scratch, right? Because I think Scratch is kind of a big reveal here.
Yep.
But Ace Duck, I talking to Caesar earlier, is like, I don't like Ace Duck at all. I really do, mainly because he was one of my favorites as a kid. I just loved his look. I loved the wings that you could attach to him. I still have the one I had from when I was a kid, and I think they did a pretty good job here of giving you a bunch of. You got the extra head sculpt looks really cool. He's got a freaking cigar in his mouth, and I love he has extra jackets. So when he doesn't have his wings out, and again, all the accessories are really cool. He's like a Tommy gun, which is pretty neat, and his like normal gun, the accessory came with. And again, the weapons tree is really cool with the landing gear as part of it. So maybe not the most popular Turtles character, but I really dig him. What's your thoughts on Ace Duck?
This could be my favorite of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I love that old pilot helmet that he's the leather strap down helmet that he comes with.
Yep.
Because in the other promo images, when he's wearing that, he's got just the jacket, no wings, and he's holding the Tommy gun with the cigar. He looks crazy good. It looks amazing.
Yep. It does look fantastic. Let me pull back up the Super7 site. Froba Fett is accurately saying we got some other views there as well. Let's go to Ace Duck, and then we will also go to Slash because there is images of the back of the show, which I know you wanted to look at, John. But yeah, look at that. That looks so freaking cool.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And he still has his feathers popping out the bottom.
Yes. I love it. I love both head sculpts. I agree. The secondary one here again is probably the one you'd go with. But yeah, I really dig this figure for sure. Let's look at Slash real quick. Sure, that's there. And I guess we got the back of his shell. I don't see the back of the shell. Huh. Maybe it's on the front page. Either we'll look back at it in a second. Maybe it's on this one. Maybe it's there. And I'm not seeing the back of the shell either. So for Proba Fett, I'm missing it here. But anyways, let's close out with Scratch. Why do I keep saying Slash? Slash from Guns N' Roses. Here we go. So this is a figure that I have seen in the wild maybe once or twice. When this one dropped, I think for a lot of us as kids, like we'd already kind of moved on from Ninja Turtles by this point. And it's one of those super rare figures, super expensive. And so I think it's really cool. They're getting same way how Origins kind of got some of those more expensive figures pretty early. Them going here for Scratch, I think, is a really neat move. And while I don't have any nostalgic connection to the character, I think its history and allure as one of those hard to find, really expensive figures, I think adds a lot of value to this set, as well as for those that maybe never had the character before, could play the character before, getting it right now. But what's your thoughts, John?
I think it's a good move for them to do this figure sort of, I would say, early in the series, even though we're on wave 6. Because it is super tough to find the vintage counterpart. I've found it one time in 20 years of buying and selling toys, but I think they've done a really good job with this. Seeing the accessories with actual paint on them and not just like the yellow cake gun is pretty cool.
The cake gun looks so cool painted. I think that looks really, really neat for sure.
And I do like the alternate head with the sort of looking out of the corner of his eyes look.
Alex is in the room with me right now. He's homesick, so if he jumps up here, that is who is there. But yeah, I love the alternate head. I love the look. I love the paint accessories, which I think adds a lot to it as well, especially for a figure that only had the yellow accessories, were kind of boring. So really, really dig the Scratch as well. So I think the fact alone that we're getting a Scratch shows Super 7's devotion to the line and showing us that they plan on going deep. Totally agree. And I think if you want it to go long, you kind of have to have that level to it, right? It has to be able to go that deep. So that's cool. Question here from Toy Cartel: will it affect the price of vintage now? I had a couple questions around that. What are your thoughts there, John?
I highly doubt it. The amount of people who will look at the Super 7s and still say I'm just strictly vintage. We saw plenty of people over the weekend at the toy show that, I talked to somebody who hadn't even known about Super 7 stuff, about the Ultimates, and he only does vintage. There's still only a very limited amount of Scratch figures out there for vintage ones. So
exactly,
I don't think it'll go down. Scratch has just continued to go up, in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
It's not coming down anytime soon.
Yeah, totally agree. And we've seen that for Origins. Say for maybe Scareglow has come down a bit, but I don't know necessarily related to the Origins one, but a lot of those are still really expensive. And especially less so than Origins, this is scaled different. This is scaled a lot bigger than the vintage figure. So it's not like it's a placeholder in your set like Origins can be, kind of. So I think even more so, I don't think this affects the price at all. But people are asking if it's already up on BBTS Toy Store, and it doesn't look like it yet. Maybe it's not on the front page. I'm not seeing it, but their prices are generally about the same, right?
Yeah. I think the only advantage is over Big Bad over ordering direct.
Yeah,
is Big Bad doesn't charge you immediately until they ship, right?
Yep, exactly. I think but they usually get it later. So it's kind of, if you want it the soonest as possible, or as soon as possible, order it directly from Super 7. But if you don't mind waiting and you don't want to put your money up front, Big Bad Toy Store. And that's generally how to go with that. But overall, another home run of a set. Really excited for this one. A lot of characters that I really like. And like for me, Scratch never have had it. So it's kind of like my first time getting to have a figure of Scratch, which I think is really cool. So overall, kudos to Super 7. Very nicely done. And really excited for what's to come there. Playmates now, please release Scratch for us collectors from the other side of the world, you coward. Yeah, I mean, Playmates is re-releasing everything else 10,000 times over. Do the expensive stuff. I don't think
they really should. They should do Scratch. They should do Hotspot. They should redo the other undercover turtles that came with like the cloth, the soft good trench coats. Those are worth a fortune too.
Yeah, 100% agree. Michael Palmer has a great point here. If anything, it's going to bring more attention to the figure and hike it up further. That's a very good possibility as well. And Jamie says, this line made me have no interest in vintage, so I think this will only impact those who are newly planning collecting vintage collector prices. I think will remain high. Agreed. And Jamie, 26 minutes and no dislikes. This might be a record. See now you called it out, Jamie. But definitely hit like if you haven't hit it already. Tom, I definitely buy those this time around. I agree. And last here for in this topic, what do you guys think will be wave 7 and 8? They'll most likely finish the undercover line. I mean, if you're going the undercover Dawn and the space Raph, I would assume those are the next two turtles, right?
Yeah, definitely. And then they'll probably give us like sports turtles, or I'm still going to stick with, they're going to hit us at Halloween with Universal Monster Turtles.
Just do a Universal Monster wave, please. Because
they do
this year.
Yeah, they do tend to drop waves close together, right? The reveals, like I think what was it? 4 and 5 were revealed really close together.
Yep.
So I think possibly maybe wave 7 could be just a Universal Monsters wave, which would be perfect.
Yeah, because it takes about a year, right, once they announce them. So if they announce it this time Halloween, hopefully around next Halloween we're getting the figures, which like if they can plan that and just set it up that way, totally with you, John. That would be home run of home runs. That would be a grand slam in that situation. All right, well, we're coming up on time here for the special lunch break edition of Toy Geeks. But before we sign off, last night's episode, less than 24 hours ago, we talked about the HasLab controversy continuing and the kind of somewhat battle between Retro Blasting and Scott Knightlick at Spectre Creative. And John and I offered this channel as a space, a neutral space, if they both wanted to come on and kind of hopefully settle their differences. And immediately after we were done recording, Michael from Retro Blasting reached out and said he was game to come on the show, on our show as neutral ground. Right, that video that Scott posted was like, hey, I'll come on your show, but Michael would prefer it to be on neutral ground. And then I also sent a message to Scott Knightlick, and he said he is game as well. Got that email right before jumping on here live. So both Michael and Scott are game to come on and possibly settle their differences on the channel. So a lot of scheduling and everything to come. I'm sure there's a lot of negotiating on both sides on how it'll all go down. So none of those details yet, other than both people are willing to come on and hopefully settle their differences with this toy feud. So let's the GDL Camp David Accords 2021. I joked to John this morning, it's kind of like we're kind of acting as intermediaries here to hopefully resolve the conflict. So be on the lookout for that, and maybe by this Sunday's Toy Geeks, maybe that will be the main topic of it. But all I do ask is all of us here on this channel, everyone that participates in these, that we act again with kindness and respect for each other as Toy Geeks. And if they do come on the show, no picking sides or anything like that. We'll again, the point here is to try and de-escalate and resolve some conflicts. That's the hope of it all. All right. So well, which one?
Pop actors.
Scott's gonna eat lightning and crap thunder. So Jamie says, no way you're fitting a steel cage in that room. Yeah, it would not fit. It would not fit. Jay, just have to get he got 2 sound effect ready to go. Yeah, well, we got to, because we have both Scott and Michael on board to come on and talk about a pay-per-view event. Again, hopefully the idea here is hopefully no verbal fists flying, but yeah, so exciting stuff, right, John?
It is It'll be a cordial event.
Exactly. That's the goal. That'll be the goal. All right, well, that is it for this special lunch break edition. Thank you everyone for jumping in and being a part of it. And we will see you all on our normal time. Again, stay tuned to the channel for more updates to come. And I believe tonight I'll be doing a live stream unboxing the Mattel Creations exclusive Scare Glow, so be on the lookout for that. Also going to review Waves 5 of... yes, buddy. Okay, well, we will get to that. And until next time, hasta luego, and goodbye. Oh, I gotta hit it in. There we go.